Oh, there we are. All right, everybody. So, welcome. Thank you guys for hopping on. Sorry that it seems that we are a little tardy, but we'll make it up to you. So, anyways, it's been a couple weeks. I was actually in China last week, and so there was a couple of issues. The time zone issue wasn't a big deal. I was actually going to snag Cassie. I was in China with Cassie Basket, and I was going to snag her and get on, and it would have been a 12-hour difference. So we would have hopped on at 9:15 in the morning, and we would have been able to rock with you guys Tuesday night. So we would have been ahead. But over in China, if you're not aware, that you can't do Facebook. So there's a lot of things that you can't access over there. We did have a VPN, so I know there's probably some of you guys, some smart techie people that are going to be jumping in telling us about that. And you can use a VPN. So actually, if you were following on Facebook at all, we did get to do some posting here and there, but actually doing a Facebook Live was not going to work. So it's not the VPN wasn't going to stream for that long and be consistent on that. So sorry about all that, but that's all right.
Yeah, totally missed you last week. And it would have been so cool if y'all could have gone on because, I mean, China's pretty major. And I can't wait to hear more about that because I know you came back very excited and I like the pictures you were sharing and everything. So,
yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Let's hop on and chat a little bit about merch stuff so far since we've had a couple weeks. So last time we were with you guys, we discussed the 90-day challenge or 90-day run, whatever you guys want to, say about that. And that, if you guys are not aware, you guys can just search that on the page, and there's actually a document that you can use to start tracking things. And we're not going to get all the details because there's also a short video, like a 3-minute video that goes on how to use that. But I do have to say, we've kind of had a little bit of a side conversations, and Amy was saying how you've been consistent with stuff, haven't you, recently?
I have. I'm almost surprised at how consistent I've been. I know I'm crazy Q4 focused, so I know that has to do with it as well. But yeah, writing it down and being able to just check it off, there is this gratification with that, and yeah, I really like checking off my boxes. So
I think that's huge because, like I said, I mean, when you're working by yourself, you really don't get that unless you run over to your kids, run to your hubby, and they're like, "Oh, high five! I just did this."
Yeah, and they're like, "Whatever, mom, I don't care." It's like, all right.
But no, cool. And you know what? To be totally honest, knowing that I was going to China, I did not lay all my stuff out. I knew I had I've done this pretty regularly, but it's not been anything that is nonstop consistent. But every few months I jump in, and especially prepping for Q4, I think it's important. So now I have some things which some people might think are a little oh well, that might not make a whole heck of a lot of sense, because some of them are not totally business related, activity related with business. Do you have any things on your list that are not merch related or business related?
I have a box that's do 2 loads of laundry today. So yes,
rock on. And you know what, I mean, because this is the thing, you have to, there's life, and in order to be as productive as you want to be, there's things that need to happen. And so that's huge, and doing that little thing consistently, it doesn't end up being this big mound of laundry. And how many kids do you have?
3. I mean, we are a house of 5. So, I mean, it gets crazy sometimes. So, and then, of course, trying to do merch and everything. I mean, I still have the meal plan. I still got to cook dinner. I still got to make sure my kids are, okay. So,
alive.
That's important. And, but writing it down is just okay, this is something I need to be intentional about this week. So that's what I'm going to do. And I mean, it's going to change. Every day I don't have to do that, but it's just good to see that, okay, this really needs to be done. It's a priority. Write it down, check it off, and you feel good about it.
Yeah. And then it doesn't get away from you either. And so anyways, a couple of mine that are not related is I think that I do a pretty good job of, my water intake. But I do know that sometimes it does get away from me because I really like water. Like for some reason I'll crave it, whatever, and I really like water. But like I'll get busy and distracted, and then like sometimes I think I'm like, oh yeah, did I drink as much as I should have throughout the day? I don't know. And so that's one of my things is getting the gallon of water in a day. I have like these bottles or whatever, and so I have but I have 3 of them, and I just fill them up 3 times, or I'm sorry, once, fill them up once, and then once in the afternoon, and then once I drink all 6, 3 times 2, then I got it in. And that's one of the things that is really cool to see, because after doing that consistently, like you also notice that you will start to feel better as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know if people have ever done that, but it's very, very beneficial. And it almost seems like, okay, because it amps your energy. And so I know when I'm thinking clear, when I have higher energy, I'm going to do more. I'm going to feel better about my work, about the stupid uploads that you have to do, like all the little tedious things that you have to do. Like it's just, you'll have a definitely a better outlook. So this, even though it might not seem that it's like directly related, to me, it's 100%, totally correlated.
It is. I mean, if you have all this clutter in the background, like all this stuff that needs to get done, but you're only focusing on the 4 things on your list and neglecting everything else, it's going to be in the back of your mind. You're not going to be on your A game because that's, sitting on your shoulder like, oh my goodness, like that needs to be done too, but that's not on my list. So forget it. It's going to mess you up all the way around. But you're right. Like if you are running on all cylinders, I guess you could say, I mean, you're going to do better. You're going to feel better. You're going to do better. And it's just ripple effect through every aspect of your life.
Yeah, and totally. So that's just kind of the things that while you guys are doing your 90-day run, just kind of notice. There might be things that you might like, oh my gosh, I should throw this, on my list or whatever, or you'll get in the habit of some things and that's not going to be as important. So those things that I just know that, again, they might seem minor. This might not be like something that's going to get me to the unicorn 100,000, tier, but I'm telling you right now, those little things add up. So it's those little disciplines that you're doing, and that's exactly what this is all about. So I'm awesome for whoever is embracing this. And guess what? If you didn't start when we started on August 1st, I didn't either. And I knew I wasn't going to be doing that, but I am going to be, starting it, and I'm excited to get on point with that. And you can start at any time. I mean, this isn't a start-stop thing. This is just something to be able to, kind of get people in the habit. So, hey, okay. So let's see what some people are saying over here.
So apparently I am sounding kind of weird. Like, I don't know, like, is it my mic? Maybe I can change headphones.
Is it you for sure? I mean, you sound good.
Yeah, they're saying that there's, which my toddler's screaming in the background, so that's a possibility too. But can you guys hear me okay?
I feel a little bit of feedback, but it's not super bad on my end. Can you guys handle it? Can you guys deal with it? Is it really bad?
I mean, I can switch headphones like real quick.
Okay. Maybe you try and then, I don't know. Okay. Hang on. Maybe just our volume's up. Of course it's John that's saying it. Oh, I think that's good. I think that's much better.
All right. How about now? Is that better?
Aaron said we sound fine. John's just being a troublemaker. But honestly, no, I did hear it a little bit, and now it's good to me. I don't hear anything.
All right. This works.
Maybe one was like noise canceling and one wasn't. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just bought these knockoff headphones the other day off of Amazon for mad cheap. So, I mean, it could be the headphones.
Well, so super funny that you said knockoff. So, I guess good segue into China. So one of the things that we did, which was probably one of the highlights of the entire trip, was we went to the underground market where they have
fun.
Yeah, so they have knockoff items. And so as far as I understood, the guy that we went with, and he's been over to China a bunch of times, he said for sure there's, just total fakes. He's like, but there's a lot of stuff there that's legit and just like overruns, or the shops because they have a little bit different ethics over there, they might run extra and not, note it. And then they sell them off to, buffer a little bit.
Oh.
That's just how it is. So anyways, he had said that he found this awesome shop, and they were selling Beats headphones, and like,
Nuh-uh.
yeah, and like
Oh, and
Yeti.
your Yeti wine glass.
Yes. So
Yes.
I have the four of the Yeti collection, and I don't even have a Yeti. Like everything we have, like Arctic, we have the non-Yeti stuff. But I'm like,
Yeah.
sure, all right, we'll get some Yeti. So anyways, they're crazy cheap. So it's funny, we're in there, and all the stuff is sealed. Okay, like shrink wrapped and everything. And he brings out, he had like the last version of the wireless Beats. And we're like, okay, everybody like wanted them because he was dropping the price down for US, and they were sealed for like, first he said $30, and then he's gonna drop them to 25
For Beats?
for wireless Beats. Okay, so here's the thing.
Oh,
Now they
wow.
have the new version, and so here's the thing. If any of you guys go over there and you're like negotiating, because
I need to go over there just to get some Beats.
I know
Beats by Dre.
right? I thought I went over there, and or when I came back, I was talking to a gentleman who was not with our group, and he was on my flight, and he was telling me the prices that he had paid at there, and he's like, "How much did you pay?" I was telling him, he's like, "Really?" Because they're gonna start you at like 10 times higher. It just so happened that Tim knew, the price, he knew about whatever, so he knew what we could get away with. And so then he's like, "Well, I don't have enough of the old version for you. I just have the brand new one." So he whips out the brand new ones, like boxes of them. And they were, he was like, "Well, the cheapest I can go on, these are $50." And so
Oh,
it's like, "Oh,
no.
$50, what?" So we're in there and we're like opening them because we're like, okay, let's see if this really, because he's like, open them and try them. So we're all connecting them to our phones and listening to them. They sound ridiculous. I'm like, if
Mm.
these are like total knockoffs, like, why would they have such amazing quality? I don't know, but they works perfect. And so if you can see there.
Oh, there they are.
So I got 4 pair. I was like, nope, load it up. I got presents to get in. So,
Yep, Merry Christmas.
so
That's
anyways,
awesome.
that's my fun little story about that. We did a ton of other things as well, but basically we were there for business. We were there sourcing inventory and looking for different products for us to be able to import. And for me, this was the first time that that I've ever been to China, but I've not sourced anything from China either. We've sourced all of our current private label items in the US. And so just, going there and being thrown into it, it was an awesome experience. It is definitely going to be something that I probably will do. I would realistically, depending on like baby situations and stuff, like probably twice a year. So we'll have to see, but I can definitely see that. So it was just nice to just jump over there and check it out. So big shout out to Hickory Flats, because they're the ones that took us over there and organized the trip, and it was first class all the way. I'm telling you, there was nothing like, you want to be going into an area that is unusual, and you don't know how to get around. And I mean, it was just, every single place that we went to was amazing. The food was amazing. So we really didn't have to worry about anything but focusing on this whole new experience of how to grow our business. And I think that made the trip just totally priceless, because we could
Yeah.
literally just focus on business. And because you have to get acclimated, I'm not speaking the language. I don't really know about like importing stuff. I don't know their processes. So I mean, it's just like, hey, here you go, get thrown into the jungle and, figure it out type thing. And of course there was some guidance, but you know what, guys? And I feel like this kind of really correlates to some things, is that a lot of times, especially as adults, we want to learn everything first before we go do it. And it did not matter how much education I had prior to going over there. And because I knew that, I truly didn't prep very much, because I'm like, you know what, until I'm in it, I'm not going to fully understand it anyways. So again, there was a little bit of like basic study prior, just kind of like an outline. And then it's like, you have to figure it out, and I think that's totally correlates to merch too.
I agree. I agree. I mean, if you're trying to like put all these boundaries on something that you're unfamiliar with, because I mean that's completely new territory, you're gonna trip yourself up. I think it's best to have somebody else kind of planning it in advance, and then you just walk on in there and put the pieces together as you deem fit while you're in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, so we talked a little bit about travel in China, and
Yeah.
then now we are allowed to talk because this is on the dashboard, right? So we're allowed to talk about this new thing, right?
We're not. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I've
Totally.
heard
All
that
right,
we
well,
are
everybody,
not supposed to talk about certain
okay,
things.
so everybody that's on here, there's 32 of you right now, which is super cool. Thanks for hopping on. We really love you guys popping on. Go read your dashboards, the most recent one, because we're not going to talk about it just because it just is
Yeah.
what it is. I think we
Yeah.
probably could, but we are an error on the side of caution in this group. I think you guys know that. Miss Amy Miss Amy Herberger is definitely a very strong leader on that. We appreciate her guidance there. So we'll just do that and we will move on. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to talk about it, y'all. Like, I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll make sure maybe next week. We'll see. But there's lots of excitement going on. Check your dashboards. That's super fun. My husband gave us a warning and said, keep your mouth shut. So very
Yeah,
cool.
he's right.
Oh, and Bo is not afraid.
Bo is yelling at, yeah.
Like, he's saying it. He's saying it out there. I love this guy. So seriously,
What Germany
enough,
stuff? What are you talking about?
so funny enough, for the longest time, we needed to make sure that Bo was actually a real person because he's kind of a mythical character himself. But when we're out of Colorado, we actually got a chance to meet him. So he is real, everybody, for sure. Human, not so sure on that aspect, but he's real. Total powerhouse. And I actually just watched, finally, I wanted to see his interview on Real Talk with Matt and RJ. I wanted to see that before I went to China, but my stream wasn't working, so I had to wait, and I just recently watched it. It was so good. And I was chatting with you and mentioning about how there was a few like aha moments about some things.
Yes.
And yeah, so I really, that was part of it. Part of it was like some of the reading that I'm doing, which is one of the things on my 90-day run thing. One of my daily tasks is to read like at least 15 minutes a day, a good book, not listen to the audiobook, because I'm good at like audiobooking and then like putting in the background, and I catch a good amount of it, but you know that I multitask and stuff, and that's just, it is what it is. At least I'm listening to something good. But reading actually a physical book, I don't know. It's just like it really helps to sink in. So between that interview and then something that I was reading today, I really thought that it was totally prominent to merch, which the book that I'm reading really is not. I'm not reading it for merch. I'm reading it more for like our private label business and stuff. But it's just so cool to see how so many things overlap. So have you heard of Blue Ocean Strategy, the book? Blue Ocean Strategy?
I have not. No.
You have not. Okay.
No.
So, all right. So I'm sure some of you guys have heard of that book. And I think I've read bits and pieces of it like years ago. I honestly don't think I read the full thing. Not because it wasn't good. I just think that it wasn't what I needed at the time, or just, whatever. I just didn't dig in that much because it's kind of a serious business book. And so just kind of talking about how you don't want to be kind of last to the party. You don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing because you are going to get swamped in basically the red ocean.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The red ocean is bloody, where all the competition is. Everybody's scratching for like a little piece of, whatever's left. And they say like all these opportunities start out like something new, merch, okay, a couple of years ago, start out as a big blue ocean. And so it's just, you just go there and you put up shirts and you do well. And, the opportunity there is super good. But with that said, it does not mean that it's still not that great of an opportunity. Again, we've talked about this. It just means that you have to continue to step up your game. And one of the focuses, and it was actually the book that I'm reading, is Expert Secrets. It's more with Russell Brunson for creating funnels and stuff online. So really good book. And this is what he's referencing, because he's basically saying you don't want to go into, okay, here's the competition. I'm just going to do general competition stuff. You need to, which is, he didn't say it like this, but it's basically niche down. And
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked about this, but with each time that I'm like working to get better at my research, and I'm really trying to, listen to different tips, and I know Bo is killer at research, and I really do feel at this point in the game, after seeing, what we've been able to do, but sales wise, I just, we've not continued to grow, in relation to how many shirts we have live. So like the percentage that we choose to do, and of course we can say, is there some of that? Is that some competition? Absolutely. But you know what? Realistically, like your research needs to be on point. And he's
Yeah.
really, really good at that. And I know there's a lot of other people that are great at that as well. I just think that, he had a really good perspective. So if you guys have not watched that stuff, like go and check out that interview. It was really, really good. I'm not going to regurgitate everything, just because I'm sorry, he just shares it so well. And yeah, you definitely need to check that out. Again, it's Real Talk, with Matt and RJ, and it was, I think it was 2 interviews ago. They're on every Wednesday night, not tomorrow night, because I think they didn't want to get tripped up. I actually just saw a post, and they are on every single Wednesday night, but they're like, oh, we need to work on some of the stuff that we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's like, what is
So
this? What is this thing
yeah,
we're not supposed to talk about? No.
I know, so funny.
But I can second that. That interview was really awesome. I took a lot from it too. When I found out that Bo was on, I was like sitting there with a notebook, and I'm just like writing down all kinds of notes because this dude knows what he's doing. And I mean, he talks about sacrifice that he's had to make, things he's had to say no to. And he's not like neglecting the important things like spending time with his family and stuff like that, but the less meaningful things he's like brushing to the side. He's not doing the fantasy sports like he used to. He's going right in on merch, and he is killing it. So anytime that dude talks, I am writing it down
yeah,
anytime.
yeah, I know. I
Thank you,
think he,
Bo. Seriously,
yeah,
thanks.
I think he just got tiered up to 36,000.
Oh
So
wow.
crushing
Yeah.
it. And
Oh,
the fun part is like, he really does. His sales definitely reflect that. So yeah, killing it. And like you said, the sacrifices. This isn't just talk. Like, we're in some chat groups and stuff, and in nonstop, man, he is merching it like non freaking stop. So
well, it's like,
um
and we can easily sit there and we judge people that are putting up their numbers because we don't think we can attain that. And it's like, oh, that's not real. Show me a screenshot. Oh, you doctored that. And this is stuff that happens in the chats. And it's like, you don't see what happens behind the scenes. Like these people are up early. They're going to bed late. Like they're working it. So, I mean, you got to really go hard sometimes.
and they don't have time to prove it to you, my friends, because they're
No.
working on merch. If they if they weren't working merch, then maybe they'd have time to show you all that stuff. But no, it's really encouraging to me, and just to see how real people are that are rocking it out, and just being so willing to share what they're willing to share. It's just awesome, because I do know that each time that we're on, we definitely pick up little things here and there, and it's awesome. So yeah,
Yeah,
that.
and that's one thing I absolutely love about the community as a whole is just how helpful that
Yeah,
the majority of merchers are. And I know
for sure.
that's been said on other YouTubes and groups and everything, but it's the truth.
Yeah, totally, totally. Um, so what else? What did I put on there? I think that's kind of what we were talking about, new stuff. Tear ups. Okay, so it was like, Oprah, I'm sorry if you didn't get teared up, because I am gonna do so. Like,
Yeah,
Oprah's like, you gonna tear up? You gonna tear
I
up?
know. And then like you're sitting back and you're like, I didn't get a tear up. We were the ones watching the Oprah Winfrey show when she was giving away the cars, and you're just like, why couldn't I be in that audience? But you know
You gotta
what?
tear up. You
You
gotta
know,
tear up.
I did. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
speaking
yeah.
like in general.
Oh,
I did.
you're being very empathetic. That's very
I
awesome.
am.
You're
But
like,
here's
I've
the
been there
thing.
before.
It sucks because I mean, you sit there, you see it, and you're like, oh, well, mine must be coming too because it is so random all of a sudden, like really random. But you know what? Keep on keeping on. Your tear up will come. And I don't know if it was Amy Herberger who said it or who, but focus on your uploads. Don't worry about the sales. Q4 is right around the corner. Tier ups will happen as they happen, but focus on just getting your uploads up and don't, try not to compare. It's hard, but you're only going to hurt yourself.
It is. It is. So, all right. So I think those were like the three main topics that I put on there. What else do we have over the past couple weeks?
Well, it is the summer, and with being August and everything, back to school's happening, people's focus is on vacation, things like that. Sales might be down, but even though your sales are down right now, doesn't mean they're going to stay there. And now is a great time to start focusing on Q4. And a lot of us, even though our sales aren't where we would like them to be either, are still working very hard knowing that Q4 is coming. And I know Amy Herberger, again, to quote her, don't have any expectations, but you will most likely reap what you sow. Like what you put in, you'll get back, and Q4 is a great way to like really gauge that. So it might be slow today, but it ain't going to be slow for much longer.
Exactly. And then again, you know what, we've said this over and over, and all we have is some light past experiences basically. But I do have to say that I was not disappointed last year, and it was difficult in the beginning, all the way up until, I'm telling you, probably at least, like maybe even the last week of October. I don't really know. I mean, we did okay with some Halloween stuff, but it wasn't fantastic. We were kind of just getting rolling, so we didn't hit a lot of Halloween. But what I do know is that everybody was talking Q4, 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 Q4. Okay, does everybody know when Q4 starts? Like, it's relatively early. And so people are, at that point, people are like 1 week in. And they're like, it's Q4. My sales aren't doing good. 2 weeks. It's Q4. What the heck's going on? And
that was me last year. That was me. It was October 1st, or it was, right after Black Friday, I think.
No, Black Friday is
it was October. Yeah. Or was it Black Friday? Anyways, one of them, I was expecting to wake up and like
the
Red Seas are parted and the cha-chings are just going crazy, and they didn't. And I was just like, what is this Q4 you guys are all talking about? And then like one day, all of a sudden it was like, oh, this must be what Q4 you guys have been talking about. And I am super, super stoked for this one. But it was cool because like last year I went in, I had no expectations. I did not know what to expect. It was my first year even being on any kind of sales situation. I didn't really do FBA or anything like that. So I had no background. So, I didn't know what to expect, and it was cool. And I was not disappointed.
No, and that's the thing. And you know what? Be aware that if it is going to be similar to last year, or you know what, if you don't have any ringers for any of the holidays or whatever, then chances are, you know what, you'll hit that little rush a little bit later, and that's totally fine. And just keep at it. Because like I said, last year was just our first year. We're like, okay, whatever. We're just gonna brush it aside. Things weren't, awesome. We're just going to brush it aside and keep going hard. And we did, and we did not regret it one bit. Now, this is kind of a little bit early to discuss this maybe, but somebody did just throw up the word, the freeze.
Oh, the freeze.
Yes, we have some newbies on here. So the date of the freeze, because again, last year it was December 5th, and I do believe that it was the year before it was December 5th as well. It just ended up being the same day. So for prophetic sake, or whatever you want to say, prophecy, is that right? I say it?
Nostradamus over here.
Right, maybe around that time. Now, whether there's going to be one or not, it's not written in stone. Amazon likes to keep us guessing, just as same as everybody else. But here's the thing. I live in Michigan, and it does get pretty darn cold at that time. And I think that we've already committed, because by that time, so let's talk about private label, we do FBA. And so by December 5th, we have shipped in all of our inventory, because it takes a little while to ship. It takes a while to receive it. Sometimes Amazon disperses it to different places. So really, we will kill ourselves up until like I don't know, beginning of December or whatever. It seems like we are going nonstop. Our head is spinning. When's it ever going to stop? And then all of a sudden it's like done. Like we're like, okay,
Yeah.
oh, we have nothing to do.
Vacation, right?
Right. Well, that's it.
Like,
I'm just like,
let's
you know what?
breathe for a minute.
Screw
This
this.
is
Yeah.
welcome.
You know what?
Like,
And
whew.
instead of going and being like, whining on the message boards that, oh my gosh, we hit a freeze. I was like, I talked to some, merch buddies, and I'm like, dude, let's go somewhere warm. Screw the freeze. We are just going to plan a vacation on the time because then it freezes. We don't care. We don't care.
Yeah.
And we're in the sun and the sand and hanging out. And so I don't know. That just seems like a fantastic idea to me. And I think that I volunteered to organize it. So we'll see how that goes. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be a good. Oh no, Michelle said that I don't even have Popsockets yet. Oh
Yeah,
man,
what's the deal with that? I am honestly shocked that not everybody has Popsockets at this time because I mean
I,
that was what 2 months ago that the last time they rolled them out or something. I mean,
oh
I don't
man,
know.
don't get them. We had to wait a long time
Honestly though,
for.
honestly, like I know, it's the fear of missing out and everything, and I would totally be there with y'all, but shirts are still better than anything else as far as merch is concerned, in my opinion. Shirts outsell everything. Pop sockets are cute, but it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world, and hopefully y'all
Well,
will get them.
well, and you know what was cool? Another point that Bo brought up is that he had mentioned, obviously Popsockets are awesome, and I think they're a great part of the catalog, and that's very cool. But with shirts, people, I mean, you're changing. Well, you should be changing your shirt once a day. You're wearing a new shirt every single day, right? And you're not changing your pop socket every single day. So even though I guess kids have multiple pop sockets and they do change them out, that's the rumor. I don't think they're as regularly
Well, I mean,
changing.
how many of us even knew what a pop socket was until Amazon was like, here's the pop socket? I mean, a lot of us were like, what is this? What does it do? I mean, I still don't have one. Like, I know I don't have a pop socket on my phone yet.
You need to get one. You need to make one for yourself.
Yeah, maybe. I
All
don't
right.
know. I'm
All
like
right.
one of those like old fools. I'm like, what's that? Like,
I
I'm
don't
getting
need
on
it.
fine without it. I don't need it.
Yeah, but then once you have it, you're like, how did I ever live without this? Just wait. Just wait. I don't know. So I do want to bring up, and maybe I'm gonna put you on the spot. Hopefully, if not, I'll back it up. But I don't think it's a big deal. So there was a major glitter bomb everybody was excited about in the group today, and I forgot her name. I should actually look it up. Somebody help me in our group. So there was a glitter bomb that was dropped in a girl boss group. It was about Create Space, right?
Oh,
Right.
yes. I think
Okay.
I saved that. I
I
hope I
did as
saved it.
well. So, okay, you guys, Create Space. If you are not familiar with that, it is Amazon does own Create Space. And you can actually create a lot of different things. It was, typically for books, right? Like if somebody's going to actually write and publish a book, is that like initially what it seemed to be intended for, right? Do you think?
That was always the impression I was under. It's like, oh, Create Space is for self-published, publishing authors. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was for me because I don't have time to write a book. Like,
Write a book. No, absolutely not. So, okay, so here it is. I'm going to look it up. Is this right? So, Tammy. Yeah. Okay. So, Tammy wrote the post, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to touch a little bit on it because I want to give her props. And basically, what has been going, if you guys are not, up to speed on it, is people are now creating different things like journals or composition books or things like that, where all you have to do is have pages. They do have to have something on them. I guess you can't put blank pages in a book, but it's just pages with a binding, and you get to create the cover. So you design the cover and then you pop it up and you can sell it. So people are doing this and they're doing really well at selling these. And because it is school's coming up, kids want, very awesome notebooks. So unique notebooks. And so that's something that people have kind of been diving into. And so, without getting into too much detail, just highlighting her and how awesome she kind of saw the opportunity with this, and everybody isn't necessarily on there and doing it. And she's like, okay, well, if I have designs for my t-shirts and stuff, I'm already in this mix. This is something that overlaps very, very nicely. And so she's doing very, very well. And I think she said she's now equaled her merch from last month, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's what she was comparing it to merch, and it was impressive because, I mean, I'll be honest, I am on CreateSpace. I probably have maybe 12 no content composition books and stuff. I haven't sold any. Like, I go on there every morning and it's like, oh, no sales. Okay. But I don't have the time to really just kind of sink in there, and I probably should add it to my list. But
yeah, and I think that'll be something we'll pop on and, get somebody on here with us that can talk a little bit about it, that had some success. So shout out to you, Tammy, if you're watching, and potentially if you're interested, maybe we'll get you on the books so you can share a little bit more of your success on that. But, basically
it's inspiring. It really is very inspiring. And like, after I read her post today, I was just like, okay, I need to figure out the keyword thing, because I'm sure that's what's tripping me up. And I was inspired after reading that.
And she does have 300 books right now. So, okay, I guess you can do blank. She said blank line and otherwise. She has no content in the interiors, but she has 300 uploaded. And so, again, that's just something that takes time. But, I mean, if you did, once you get into it, if you do 10 a day, that's 300 a month. Right now she's showing awesome profit. She's making about 200 for each one that's sold. And she's doing really well. So she compares basically how many live shirts she has versus how many she has up on CreateSpace. Right now, her profit matches merch. So,
and here's another fun thing too about CreateSpace. Like, we were just talking about the freeze on merch. Now, I haven't been in CreateSpace but for a minute, but from what I have read in different groups and everything, there is no freeze on CreateSpace. So if you're frozen on merch and you can't upload or add or edit or anything, you can start working on CreateSpace in the middle of Q4 when people are buying nice journals and composition books and all that kind of thing for their friends and family.
Totally ruined my vacation now.
You know what?
Now I take it back.
I'm sorry.
No, they'll be like, sorry, honey, we can't go to the Caribbean.
Nope, I've got to do notebooks now.
Kids are going back to school. They're going to need something to write in. Oh, man. No, that's not going to happen.
Forget I said anything.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if we can see some of the comments here. If there's any questions. Everybody's shouting out to Bo. Excited for tear ups. Bo says he's real. Okay.
Some college football, smacks being talked back and forth.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not a Michigan fan or an OU fan. Hook 'em horns.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a rivalry forever. That's all right. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any action on here, you guys, for any type of questions. So, I mean, I think that's pretty good. Do you think that there's anything else for us to touch on? What about there is Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's coming up. I wish I could go. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to swing it this year.
You're going. Why
I wanted to. It's not going to work out. There's too many puzzle pieces that need to fit. My husband's schedule, he still works for the man. We haven't fired his boss yet.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids that I'm in charge of their education, and it's just unfortunately not going to work. But I will be buying the replay.
Good.
Which is better than nothing. But I would have really liked to be there. There's so many of y'all that I just would love to meet, and I will be bumming the entire time y'all are in Seattle.
So what you're telling me is if I want to meet you, I have to come to your house and stay with you.
Yeah, you're welcome over anytime. Okay. Come on over. Right. If you're ever in like Texas, like, hey, we can hang out. It's cool.
We'll do it. Yeah. So, All right. Well, that bums me out. I totally thought that you were coming.
That
I
I've
get it.
tried.
I
I've
get
tried
it.
looking at it every
I
single
get it.
way, and it's just like, oh, it's just not gonna work.
I get it. All right. Well, I do. There's a lot of people that are going out there. There's some, big names that you guys know that are going to be speaking, which is very cool. And that is going to be a lot of fun. So, of course, we'll have a nice replay. Oh, got big names. Miss Amy Miss Amy Herberger, Queen herself. She is going to be speaking, and I am so excited about that.
I know. I would love to just like, even if I could be a fly on the wall, very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. I wish I could be there, especially for her, but.
Are they going to do recordings or is it live stream?
I think it's just a recording. I don't think it's going to be live, but you never know. They could surprise us.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was. I don't remember because
I think when I was looking at it, it's just the replay.
And that was one of the things. I mean, that's what I did get the replays last year. I can't remember if it was replay or streaming because there was two different conferences that I had actually purchased. And I'm going to tell you right now, they were enough. So yes, I wasn't there, but they were enough to get me amped up, and the value in that was amazing as well. So if you guys can't get there, being able to check those out and actually see, some of the awesome wisdom that's going to be coming from these people that a lot of times have been, a lot of them have been in the game for, a couple of years at this point. So it's going to be a good conference, and I'm excited to go out there. Let's see. Is there anything else?
That takes care of my list. I was just kind of writing down what we were talking about in the chat earlier with everybody, and
yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah. All right. So Teresa says no live stream, but they will have recordings. And then let's see.
How do you think tiering up will work with the odd numbers coming into play? I think it's cute, and I'm kind of like, how come I never got an odd number? Because I'm odd. I like odd numbers. Why?
You know what I think?
I thought it was funny. I'm like, I heard somebody was in the 3,000 tier. I was like, what? And then somebody was in the 7,000 tier, and I was like, huh? And then somebody's in the 5,000. I'm like, what? Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Pretty Merch needs to come up with new low monsters now. They're really giving them a run for their money, man. And I do have to say I was a little bit bummed. My favorite monster so far was the 8,000 tier.
My favorite monster is Amy Herberger's monster. That's the monster I want.
That's true. No. Ultimately, yes. I guess well, I have to wait quite a while to achieve that. But and hers is this cute unicorn. Is it like mythical? Is that what it is?
I think so. Which makes sense because I mean she is some kind of merch unicorn. So
yeah. So so here's the thing. So anyways, I love the 8,000 tier. It's like this little pink horned dude. Love it. And then we went to 10 right away, which was and then 12 is okay, but now
okay, 12 is okay.
The monster.
Okay. I'm sorry.
We're not talking real stuff here.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, seriously? It's
just
okay. The monster.
The monster. And then so right now I haven't seen another one between that and Amy's that I really like. So I guess I'm just gonna have to slug it out until we get to that 100,000. It's something when I say I'm so glad that we know it's out there and that's actually real as well. So it's like, okay, we kind of laugh about it.
Well, you know what? They're always asking for reviews for Pretty Merch. You can be like, look, I will give you a good review if you give me a pretty monster.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I need to kind of come up with my own. They'll probably be thankful. They're like, please, will you design some more monsters? Because this is not what we signed up for. Oh my gosh. But okay, so so back to the different tiers and things. I do believe, so we're going to talk a little bit in code here. Like, I believe the main thing is that they need to make sure to cover, and they don't have to. I think this is just a theory behind it. And somebody actually suggested, it was in one of the groups, something a little bit different. So my first thought is that they wanted to cover double the amount of uploads that you have. So,
well, I mean, that might make sense.
Does that kind of make sense
just
in regards
in case maybe they need to double your designs?
Right. So does that make sense? Like, does that correlate with yours? So if you had double the designs up, would your tier cover that?
Just about.
Yeah. I think that's
Just
now.
about.
Somebody said
But
something
then I
about
have seen too where people had all their slots full and they wake up and they're like, how come I only have 1,000 slots and I filled them all, but I have 1,100 new listings? So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know.
I don't know either. Somebody also said that it was 3 times your standard shirts is what they wanted to make sure that they could cover. So I don't know what's true or what's not true. So I guess you guys are just going to have to look at your count, see what happened, try and decipher it. I don't think we'll ever come up with a true answer.
I just
But
wish we could talk about it and just kind of like bounce ideas around. And it is hurting me, literally hurting that I can't just like talk
nah,
about this.
we'll behave. We'll
But we
behave.
can't.
But
Yeah.
we cannot. But you know what? Congratulations to everybody that, like you said, that did tear up. Good for you. Really just focus and don't focus so much on the number and how many that you have to upload. Be consistent. Get that, 90-day run sheet. Figure out your number. I am going to be doing the minimum uploads each day. I'm telling you, when you do something every single day, you really get in the groove. And that's one of the things Bo really touched on as well. And it is 100% true. You know why? He's been doing this every single day. Every day, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he doesn't batch upload, he doesn't he just does stuff every single day. And when you do it every single day, you get really, really good at it. So at this
And
point,
another thing too, he stays in his own lane. He's not worried about what his neighbor's doing.
yep,
He's just focused on what he's doing.
yep, and mastering that. And because he's talking about, okay, have you thought about doing Etsy? Have you not? Yeah, sure, he's thought about it, but he's like, you know what? This is what I'm focused on. And at sometimes it might get a little bit boring, but you know what? You have to suck it up, and it's gonna be boring sometimes. What's the quote? What's the quote, Amy? Matt, do you know what it was? It's your quote that you love. Begins with master,
Oh,
master.
master the mundane. That quote.
That
Yeah.
quote.
I have
So
that written down.
it's super true, super
It
duper
is.
true.
And you know
So
what? I loved what he said too, because yeah, if you guys have not watched that interview, you need to. But he was saying things along the line like, nobody likes it. It's tedious, but you know what? If you're not going to do the things that are boring or tedious, you're not going to, I don't know, excel. And that's totally not verbatim, but he's absolutely right. I mean, he will put on a movie or something on TV and he'll just sit there and be like, all right, I've got to do this. This is part of the business. This is why I'm making money. I've got to sit here and I've got to do it whether I like it or not. And,
yeah,
you just make the best of the situation.
yeah. And then
That really resonated with me because it's like that's actually something I've been doing. I've been putting on my favorite shows, sitting back, and it's like, all right, it's time to upload.
yep.
And
And then when Q4 rolls around and you have Black
yeah,
Friday, I am rooting for. So this is my prediction. Is I do
master
believe.
the Bodane. I'm sorry.
That's funny. Oh my
The
gosh.
Bodane. I love it.
Hilarious. Jesus, guy, man. He just has a name for this, right? He has the name to be able for us. But the whole thing, here's the thing, is that I want to see that 1,000 shirt day, and he'll do it.
Oh my
He is
gosh,
going to do
right?
1,000 shirts, and I know it. I know it's going to happen. I know what he was doing last Q4, and he was crushing it. So honestly, I think 1,000 shirts or 1,000 sales, whatever, is like,
And you want to know what I like about that is because if he can do it, I there's the possibility that I can too.
yeah,
Like, and there's just something nice about those trailblazers and the ones that kind of go before you that
yeah,
are, breaking down these things that you don't really think are possible. And then it's like, whoa, they did it. I can
yeah.
too. I just need to buckle down and figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, I was just talking
We
to
believe
somebody.
in you, Bo.
I,
Sorry.
I was just talking to somebody, and we were referencing again that book that I'm talking about, the Expert Secrets, and it highlights, the story about the 4 Minute Mile, about how like it was never broken, nobody could do it, nobody could do it, nobody could do it. Everybody continued to fall, on short until, and it was, I don't know how long. Like, you guys look it up. It's a nice short little story, all true, about the 4 Minute Mile. Nobody could break it, and then one day somebody did. Then guess what happened? Everybody was breaking it. 4 Minute Mile, 4 Minute Mile, but
Oh,
no.
wow.
Everybody tried until that one person did it, And then after it, everybody in their mind
Oh,
knew
well,
it was
if they can
possible.
break it, I can break it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because before it was just impossible. So, okay, fine, whatever. But when somebody did it, it's like, okay, let's go get it. And I see that that's what happens here. And that's one of the things he said, it's like, this can be, competition, but it's a good competition. It's a competition that drives you because you need something to drive you, or else what do you want to do uploads every single day? No, you want the results that come from doing those. So,
and that's another thing that I tell a lot of my friends and people that'll come and ask me questions, especially when they're just starting out. And it's like, I've only sold X amount of shirts. And it's like, look, if you can sell one shirt, you can sell 10 shirts. If you can sell 10 shirts, you can sell 100. If you can sell 100, you can sell 1,000.
yeah,
you made the sale, so you can do it.
yep,
You can do it. And I
absolutely.
think that's something that we forget, because it's like, oh, my sales are so slow. Did you sell a shirt since you started? You can do it again, and you can times X that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I'm amped. I'm excited to get on track with the 90-day groove, because I have my
Yes.
to do, I have my water to do, I have my workouts. I'm throwing that in there. I got my workouts to do. I have my daily uploads to do. I have some other stuff with our other businesses to do. And it is just a breath of fresh air when you check off those things. You are just,
It is
incredibly productive when you focus on those things first, and everything else can trickle in. So I'm excited to get started. I will be reporting back to you guys next week. And yeah, so if you guys are doing that, if you guys are on the 90-day challenge, the 90-day run,
yeah. Let us know, how's it going. Yeah, because I
yeah,
mean, we're what we're a week and a half in, 2 weeks, 2 weeks in,
week and a half. Wait, right?
week and a
August.
half. Yeah. Oh, it's the 14th. We're 2 weeks in.
Oh
So
Lord, 2 weeks.
who's
Yeah,
been doing it? Yeah, it's the
right,
14th.
right.
At least that's what my computer's telling me. It could be lying. It could be the 8th. I
No,
don't know.
you are totally right. Yeah, so that got away from me. It was so funny. There was something that happened. Oh, I missed. So I'm very like, because I don't like chill out very often. I don't meditate. I don't do any of that. But like, I know how important it is, because I kind of can run a little bit high strung. Surprise, so I actually forced myself to do these salt floats. I think I mentioned this before. And I scheduled it. It was in the calendar, and it was at 8 o'clock today. Why I scheduled at 8 o'clock today, I don't know. But I totally missed it. It was like 8:30, and I was like, wow, they send you an email reminder. I might have gotten a text. I don't know. I don't even remember. And I'm like, I'm just gonna blame it on China. I'm still in the other, like, side of the world or whatever. But anyways, so yeah, so now, like I said, I'm feeling like I'm up to speed. I'm back in our, time zone, this part of the world. And I'm amped up to get on that. So I'll be reporting back to you guys next week, and so will Amy, and then anybody else that is. Please share your your challenges, your successes, all that kind of jazz. Let's get the page popping. And other than that, we will see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us tonight, y'all.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Bye.